Alright, so good morning, and yeah, we got some new shoes in the house again. This is the Saucony Endorphin Speed 5, so we're now on the 5th version of Saucony's Super Trainer, if you want to call it that. And yes, this shoe has remained relatively unchanged over the years. This is still the same full power run PB midsole and 36 millimeters of stack height, which has also stayed relatively consistent, and we still have the nylon plate in this shoe. And yeah, let's see how this shoe shapes up in 2025. So I actually did a track session in this shoe last night, and I have to preface this by saying that of course it's always more me than the shoe, and it was very hot, but I was honestly kind of thinking to myself, I would rather be in something else right now. It just didn't feel like it was really returning a whole lot of energy, and yeah, it's relatively flexible, but also this foam, I don't know if I'm just too light for this or what it is, but didn't feel like I was getting a whole lot of cushion, and pretty firm actually. Yeah, it's interesting how things have changed. I mean, this shoe came out 5 years ago, and yeah, I was kind of thinking last night that this is kind of firm, and even on the intervals I didn't really feel like I was activating this foam a whole lot and wasn't really getting a whole lot of compression. And you know, this is something that I've talked about before, and I do think it is important to mention because it does make a difference. But yeah, I am quite light. I'm about 55 kilos, and I was kind of wondering, you know, maybe I am too light for this shoe, and maybe I just don't put enough force into this to activate it.
Voie 2, entrée en gare du train vers Luxembourg.
Yeah, this foam, this Power Run PB here, it almost feels like I want to free this stuff up a bit. It's just so kind of dense underfoot, and yeah, like I said, maybe it's down to body weight, I really don't know, but it's kind of has this weird sensation for me where I feel more like I'm running on top of the midsole here and just not really engaging with the foam. So one thing you just have to hand it to Saucony for is that they really know how to make a good upper and how to make a well-fitting upper as well. This is just, it feels like it just strikes a perfect balance where, you know, it's breathable and thin enough to be a speed shoe, but still comfortable enough and well padded for, you know, your everyday easy runs. And the fit on this is just absolutely perfect. It feels like it's not too wide or too narrow, though it is pretty containing in the midfoot here, but yeah, it's just such a comfortable shoe, and it really feels like this upper has been perfected over the years.
Voie 1, entrée en gare du train vers Luxembourg.
So I think one of the main issues with this shoe is quite specific to the EU actually, and that is price. It's 200 euros here. I mean, okay, I got a 10% newsletter discount from Saucony, but still, it's just too much for what this is. And for my American viewers, that's I think $230 or something like that. And I mean, if you look at the market at these tempo trainers, pretty much all of them are so much cheaper than this.
Les voyageurs à destination de Volmérange-les-Mines sont priés de descendre du train.
So I kind of feel like I'm complaining a lot here, and I really don't want to, because this is still a really good shoe. There's no question, and it's not like uncomfortably firm or anything like that. I think the thing is just that, you know, this model has been out for 5 years now, and I had the Endorphin Speed 1, skipped the 2, got the 3, and skipped the 4. And yeah, my honest assessment is that this model has not improved at all over the time. I mean, sure, it's changed a bit, and yeah, some for the better, some for the worse, I guess, but it's more or less still the same. And yeah, the only objective change that Saucony has made here is that it got more expensive. And yeah, it just feels like nowadays we just have so many other options in this speed training shoe category that I just don't know if this can really still keep up today.
Fermeture des portes. Hey. Entrez au quart du train ici de Liège, terminus du train. Ne pas embarquer ici.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the shoe is just situated in a bit of a weird spot now. You know, like I said, I kind of felt like for speed sessions, there's better options really, and I would rather have been in something else. And yeah, for easy runs, I mean, it's not like uncomfortably firm, but it is, you know, just, it doesn't feel like you're activating the foam quite as well, just plodding around. And yeah, just makes it a bit hard to really pin down what you would use this for now. Yeah, I think if you like the Endorphin Speed, then this is definitely a good version of it. There's no question about that. But looking back at the V1 and 2, as you probably know, Saucony did make the V3 a bit more stable and a bit more like dumbed down in a way, just not as fun and bouncy. And this is still more along the lines of the V3 and 4. It's, yeah, not quite as good as the V1, and I think that's really my main beef with this one. Just was maybe hoping for a bit of a redesign and a bit of a return to a shoe that really is fun to run in.
Prochain arrêt, Paul-Merange-Limoux, terminus du train.
Alright, so yeah, I think that's it here on the Endorphin Speed 5, and objectively speaking, this is still a really good shoe, and yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But I do have to say that in 2025, and especially for the price of this one, I just can't help myself but be a bit underwhelmed here. I just think that there's just better options, and over the years this model, it really hasn't improved. And yeah, sorry about that, but yeah, gotta be honest there. And anyway, hope you found this entertaining, and like and subscribe as always, and see you soon.
Niveau 2. Voie 2. Entrée en gare du train RER Luxembourg.